reaction of metals and non-metals with oxygen and water. Now we will see how do metals react with acids. So if we take the same example, sodium, and react it with an acid HCl, hydrochloric acid, it is seen that sodium reacts with hydrochloric acid to form NaCl plus hydrogen. This is a salt and this is hydrogen. So if we take another example, here in the book they have given different examples. The example given is in this table. What is the reaction of metal? Take samples of metal and non-metals listed in table 4.5. There are some metals mentioned here. Magnesium, ribbon. How will it react with dilute hydrochloric acid and how will it react with dilute sulfuric acid? So this is a comparison which has to be done. How will magnesium react with dilute hydrochloric acid? So if we see, then magnesium, reaction of magnesium with dilute hydrochloric acid, Mg plus HCl. How does it react with hydrochloric acid? It is seen it forms magnesium chloride plus hydrogen. This is an unbalanced chemical equation. Metals react with acid to form their salt and same hydrogen gas. So same way magnesium will react with dilute hydrochloric acid to form magnesium chloride and hydrogen. And how will the reaction take place? There are different substances in A, B, C, D and E. So they have been named here as A, B, C, D. A is magnesium reacting. It will react at room temperature or at high temperature. So record your observation and then give what is the conclusion. So it is seen magnesium will react at room temperature. Reaction with dilute sulfuric acid. Magnesium, how does it react with dilute sulfuric acid? Mg plus H2SO4. Dilute sulfuric acid is H2SO4 will form a salt, MgSO4. This is a salt and it will form magnesium sulfate and again hydrogen. Then aluminum, the next one is an aluminum. Example is an aluminum foil. How will aluminum react with sulfuric acid? How will iron react? How will copper react? How will charcoal and sulfur react? So metals behave differently. Some metals will react with dilute hydrochloric acid. Some will react at room temperature. Some will react at high temperature. They behave differently. So aluminum is a metal which will not react normally at room temperature. After some times it may react at high temperature. Aluminum, how will it react? So if we replace this metal with aluminum, it will become Al plus HCl. Al plus HCl. It will form aluminum chloride plus HCl. And then we will balance it. So when we balance it, will be, we have to put number here. So AlCl3 plus HCl. So if I write here any number, then this will be balanced. So balancing will be done by, we have to put number here. If I will write here 6, this is a trial method. Al plus HCl, it will form AlCl3 plus HCl plus hydrogen. So AlCl3 plus hydrogen, and I have to write here 3. When I will write here 3, this will become 3 into 2, 6. This is balancing. How is this balancing done? It is explained below this video. You can check out. And then 2 here. So this is a complete balanced equation. 2AlCl plus 6HCl forms this. Then iron. How will iron react with HCl? So all these metals which are mentioned here, how will they react with hydrochloric acid? Magnesium will react at room temperature, aluminum will react slightly heating, iron will also react on heating, copper may not react even on heating, and this is the difference which you have to record here. But the common thing is that all of them will react with hydrochloric acid to form a common gas, hydrogen. So all the metals will react with an acid to form their own salt. The salt name will be different. Hydrochloric acid will form chloride, sulfuric acid will form sulfate, chloride will form chloride. So but hydrogen will be common. And how do they react with dilute sulfuric acid? Again, some of them will react at room temperature, some of them will react at high temperature. But they will form a sulfate. Like if I take example of iron, Fe plus HCl forms FeCl2. Either this or FeCl3. But when iron will react with sulfuric acid, then it will form FeSO4 plus H2. So all metals react with hydrochloric acid or their acids to form their salt. The salt name depends on which acid it is. Chloride will form chloride, sulfate will form sulfate. This is the difference between the two. So you have to compare how do they react. So all metals, how do they react with acid is explained here. Is there a difference the way metals and non-metals react? What could be the pop sound in some cases? So we read that metals are forming gas hydrogen. How will you know that hydrogen gas has been formed? We will bring a burning matchstick near the gas and it will burn with a pop sound. It will produce a sound of small explosion. That is the test of hydrogen gas. So this is written here. The pop sound is because of burning of hydrogen. You must have found that non-metals generally do not react. So this is the difference. How do metals react with acid? Metals react, but non-metals have no reaction. So we have seen reaction with water, reaction with oxygen, and now reaction with acid. So metals react with water also, oxygen also, acid also. Non-metals do not react with water, they react with oxygen and they do not react with acid. So on short, you have to remember only metals. They show the reaction. That is mentioned here. Non-metals do not react with acid. You must have noticed that copper does not react with dilute hydrochloric acid. So in the next module, we will understand how do they react with and how do not react. So this was reaction with acids. Next small topic is reaction with base, and it is mentioned here. Metals react with base to produce hydrogen gas. Example is, how do metals react? So the example is, prepare a fresh solution of sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide is NaOH. Dissolve 3 pellets, drop a piece of aluminum. Now put aluminum inside it. NaOH is sodium hydroxide, solution of sodium hydroxide, and put a piece of aluminum. When you will put aluminum inside, bring a burning matchstick. It is seen that sodium, what does the pop sound indicate? So it is seen that sodium hydroxide plus aluminum release hydrogen gas. This hydrogen gas is tested by bringing a burning matchstick and it burns with a pop sound. And it forms sodium aluminate. So that is not in the syllabus. So they have just written that reaction with base. Metals react with sodium hydroxide to produce hydrogen gas. reaction of non-metal is complex. So we don't study non-metal reaction with base. So we have read reaction with oxygen, reaction with acids, reaction with water, and reaction with base. So this is the difference which we have to remember. How do metals and non-metals react with water? This is the difference. How do they react with oxygen? So this is one reaction, this is second reaction, and this is the difference. And how do they react with acid? This is the third. And now fourth one is the reaction with base. So we will see that metals react with mostly water also, oxygen also, acid also, and base also. And non-metals, so they generally show reaction with oxygen only. So next topic is displacement reaction. So we will continue in the next class. See you in the next class. Stay connected. Goodbye.